Hello everybody, I'm Cole Tinsley from Thunder and Whiskey, and today we're talking about the Boss Katana 100-watt solid-state modeling amp. Now, this is an amplifier that I've had for a while, and I've seen a lot of videos and a lot of people talking about it, and I feel a lot of them are a much more positive take on this amp that it doesn't deserve. My opinion very much differs from a lot of other YouTubers I've seen on this platform making videos about. So I figured I'd give you my opinion on this amp and my experience with it. In my opinion, the best thing about this amplifier is the fact that you can plug it directly into an audio interface instead of having to plug it into a cabinet and use microphones to record it. It has a recording output which has camp emulation built into it, which makes it much more easy to record. Makes it a simple plug-in process. Now currently I have it plugged into my interface. I'll plug it into my cabinet later to show you the tones, but I have it plugged directly into my audio interface. Set to the clean channel, everything's at noon. So a big complaint of mine with this amp is the fact that the treble is always too bitey. It's always too thin sounding, and the bass is always too muddy. There's never any, I can never find a good even balance of bass and treble. It just never comes through right. This amp is not as clear as I would like it to be. I have it switched to the crunch setting now. Just everything at noon still. The reverb's on the clean setting, about a quarter of turn. The crunch setting is definitely an improvement to the clean setting, but it's still, whenever you turn the bass or the treble up, it just sounds too muddy. It doesn't sound how I'd like it to. Now I'm still on the crunch channel, turn the variation button on. Variation tone gives it more of a modern, kind of scoop to mid soundy. Still just sounds too thin to me. I'm gonna crank up the gain, see if I could get anything else out of it. Gain's at about a quarter now, and as you can hear, it's noisy. Every time the gain's cranked, it's just there's always a hum, always a hiss that I just can't seem to get rid of with this amp. sounds too thin to me, in my opinion. The high end is not there, it's not so full. And like I said, you can crank up the treble, the mids, the bass. It's just always, it's either too thin or it's too muddy. It's never clear like I like. If I had to describe the tone of this amp in one word, it would be sloppy. Gonna set it to the brown setting, everything back to noon, see how that sounds. Sounds very muddy. So that's still a constantly recurring problem with this amp. And if I turn the presence up, it gets too thin sounding. If I turn the bass down, it gets too thin. Turn the bass up, it just gets even worse. And the amp emulation output, the recording output, makes it better. So plugged into a 4x12, it's atrocious, in my opinion. I can't tolerate it. My cabinet's loaded with 2 Celestion creambacks and 2 Celestion V-types, and it still just sounds too muddy. The amp sounds too muddy through it. So I'm gonna plug that into there and show you guys how it sounds into the 4x12. So now the Boss Katana is plugged into my 4x12 cabinet, still on the brown setting. Everything's the same as the last time, it's just now in the 4x12, and you can hear why I call this amp sloppy. And boost pedals don't really work to brighten it up either. I'm going to engage my Boss SD1. Everything's set to noon on that, and we're going to see if that helps clear it up a little bit. As you can hear, the buzzing sound is awful from this amp. With any boost engaged, even the built-in boost, still it buzzes like crazy and feeds back. It feeds back way too much for an amp like this. I wouldn't expect it to. But with SD1 disengaged, with SD1 engaged, it's very thin sounding. It sounds bad. Subjectively bad. I could see no practical recording situation where that tone would be good. This amp does best whenever it's on the clean channel. That's the clean and crunch channel are the best tones I can get out of it. And I see this amp all the time marketed for the bedroom metal player, and it just does metal tones very badly. I'd prefer a plugin like STL Tones plugin it's $12 a month. I subscribed to it for the longest time, and it sounds significantly better than this. I would prefer that any day of the week to the Boss Katana. Now I'm going to set it back to the crunch channel, and we're going to listen to that through the 4x12. Everything's still set the same way, just on the crunch channel now. Still the muddiness. I'm going to turn down the bass and turn up the mids a little bit. And we're back to the thin sound. Now I'm going to engage the SD1 on this channel, and we're going to hear how that sounds. Really loud hum again. It's super thin. I'm going to turn down the presence and the treble. It's back to being muddy and sloppy again. I've seen this amp advertised as a tube amp killer, as a replacement for a full-size amplifier, and to be completely honest, that is anything but the truth. This is more comparable to a cheap plug-in built into the housing of an amp head, and I would prefer to use SDL Tone's amp hub for every recording instead of using the Boss Katana. I've been sitting on this thing for so long, wanting to make a video on it, but I've been dreading it because I don't like playing this thing. It makes a lot of weird sounds as well. Just random, I don't know where they come from. It whenever it's humming, it picks up signals from Lord knows where. My final verdict is there's so many better amps to get for the price of this. I would just save your money, get a good decent speaker, get a decent amp, or just use an amp plug-in. I mean, this thing is awful, and I'm probably gonna hopefully sell it or just trade it into Guitar Center after filming this video. But thank you for watching. If you feel very different, feel free to leave a comment. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Feel free to dislike it if you think I'm full of crap and don't know what I'm talking about. But keep thinking outside the box, and I'll see you later.
Bye.